Hey y'all, Jen and Adam from PepperHarrow Farm. We're going to be talking today about value adding to a flower farm. This is a summary look at what we do here on the flower farm to value add, and is part of a series we're going to be adding where we'll actually be going into each topic, deep diving in on the various things that we do to value add to our flower farming operation.
We hope y'all get a lot of value out of this video and some good insight into how we do things here on the farm as far as value adding. It's not just flowers for our business, it's a lot of other things. You got to be creative when you have a small farm, and we're going to dive into that.
The first thing we do to value add here at the farm is to offer classes. And we're going to keep this really generic because we're going to follow up with a detailed video on the different types of classes that we do here at the farm. But for the most part, think about incorporating in things that have synergy with your flower farm, things that you do here in growing flowers that you could do a class on. Those are the types of classes that you should offer. And you can do classes inside, you can do classes outside. It just depends on the space you have available and the level of creativity you want to incorporate in your business. We like to keep classes pretty small so that we can really ensure that people have a really nice one-on-one experience with us, that we don't have so many people that it's too hard for both of us to manage. And we've really found that to be able to give a one-on-one kind of hands-on experience with people, it's usually about 6 people per person between us. So Adam can take 6 people, I can take 6 people. 12 is our average class size for a typical class.
Yeah. And we like to keep it small for ourselves too, because we have a good time in the class and we want to make sure we have a good time in the class. So a smaller class size ensures that.
A good idea for classes is to bring in partners. So that's something that we actually started last year. We brought in partners to teach classes here where we feel like there's a really good synergy. A good example of that is lavender soap making. We grow tons of lavender here at the farm. We do know how to make soap, but to instruct people how to make soap, it's not something that we'd ever done before. So we brought a partner in to do it. Again, a lot of synergy with our business, synergy with the things that we do here at the farm, and it just makes sense. It's part of us wanting to create a really awesome experience here at the flower farm and sharing our flower farm with others in new and creative ways.
The next thing that we do here on a farm are events. We do all sorts of events, from tours to dinners to, I don't know.
You cut events.
Yeah, you cut anything that we can think of. We're always looking to get creative with what we're doing here on the farm.
And something that we did not do in 2021, but we did the year previously was, what was it? A sunset selfie day?
Selfie day.
Yeah,
the selfie day on the farm, yep.
Yeah, we basically charged people $10 a head to come in when we had these massive sunflower installations in full bloom. And we did a selfie day. It was the ultimate Instagram moment, right?
Yep.
Just having people come out and take pictures in the massively blooming flower fields.
And by charging people, we were able to control, it was 2020, so we were able to control how many people were on the farm at one time, which is really important.
Yeah, we get a little scared sometimes when we have giant events, leaving the doors wide open, because we know our little farm can only accommodate so many people. So having a limit or having it controlled, like ticketed in advance, is really what we like to do, because then we know exactly what to expect, how many people we have coming out, how many parking spots we have available or can handle here.
Yeah.
Just to give you some ideas of some of the things we think about and how we put these events together, you really have to know what kind of capacity your farm can withstand to hold events like these.
Yeah.
The next idea as a way to value add to your flower farm is to offer up event rentals. And we don't do a ton of event rentals here. We do a few. We're talking weddings, corporate retreats. We've had bridal showers, we've had baby showers, and then kind of a unique idea is we've had brides gather DIY flowers so that they can make their own bouquets. They've actually rented our little barn out, brought out their own champagne, brought out their own tunes. They'll sit here and put their bouquets together, and An idea to value add on top of that is if you want to consult and teach them how to make bouquets, you can add that as an extra service on top of all those things if you choose. So just some ideas.
It's a tremendous amount of work to do the venue rental part of the farm, so we're pretty limited in that just because we're so busy with the other classes and events. But it's a lot of work. Just keep in mind, if you're doing a flower farm as a rental venue, it's a tremendous amount of work, surprising amount of work.
Yeah, and basically you have to think about it this way. When that event happens, usually your entire operation shuts down. It's not like you can run out into your flower farm and cut any flowers or do anything. So during the event, your flower farm is shut down, usually the night before the event and the next day for a little bit just to do the cleanup after events like that. So it does take a lot of time and effort if that's something that you're looking at doing. So keep that in mind if you're wanting to do weddings and events out at your flower farm. It definitely shuts down operations. So on the other side of that coin, just make sure that your pricing reflects that and that you're prepared to take that kind of impact onto your business, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a really good point.
Well, thank you.
The next thing that we do to value add to our farm, and it kind of is with the events a little bit, but we do agritourism, meaning we offer tours. One of the events that we have on the farm is our Sunset Farm Tour, which people love. It's nice. We have the tour like right at sunset and cut people loose in the field at the end of the tour to cut their own flowers and take pictures like crazy because we have a beautiful setting here. So we very often, if you've seen our pictures, we have gorgeous, gorgeous sunsets. People
have such a great time. I usually talk too much on those VIP sunset tours. I've been trying to not talk as much because we recognized actually people wanted to get out in the flower fields, cut their own bouquet and take tons of photos. So it was like, okay, I need to zip this, right? Yeah. He'll start looking at me in the middle of the tour if I get talking too much, like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, people want to get in the flower fields and go crazy out there.
They do, so. But people ask tons of questions. That's the time they ask us questions. We answer all their questions. But really, it's about making sure they have ample time to take all the photos.
And we do have a lot of bus tours that come through as well. Our little town is kind of a little touristy area, so we get a lot of buses that come through, and every so often we get a bus tour out here at the farm.
Yeah.
So it's another way to add to that.
If you do bus tours out at your farm, you just need to make sure that you have plenty of room for a motor coach to get down your driveway, to turn around, and to be able to get out of your property. So that's the big thing to keep in mind if you want to do bus tours.
Yeah.
The other reason why we really love bus tours is it really provides people a really nice experience to come out and see our farm. It depends on the group of people we have coming out. We basically had people in agriculture last year come out, and it was a busload of ag people, which was kind of our absolute favorite. It was like people who grow things and fellow agro nerds like us, and it was absolutely incredible.
Is that a new term, agro nerd?
I just made that up. It was great though. We had such a great time. We nerded out with them talking about all the things we grow. They were from all over the country. It was absolutely fantastic. If you guys are watching this and we're part of that group, we had such a fun time. And then the other valuable thing for us when we do group tours is we have people that are very interested after they do a group tour of coming in and purchasing our on-farm made products.
Yes, yeah, and that is an additional plus for having tours is we have a little store with our lavender products here on the farm, and yeah, people love to get in and buy some things.
Yeah, and that's kind of a nice segue into the next value-added activity. If you can make any on-farm products, we highly recommend that. So here at PepperHarrow, lavender is one of our #1 crops that we grow. We distill our own lavender essential oil and all things lavender we make here on the farm. That has really been something invaluable for us to value add onto our farm, not just selling cut flowers, but to sell on-farm made products.
Yeah, and get creative with your flowers. It doesn't have to be lavender. There are all sorts of ideas. There is an endless idea machine out there for you to think of things to do with your farm, from dried flowers to making artwork with the flowers.
We're going to deep dive on this, so don't you guys worry. We're just giving you some ideas now, but we're going to give you all the ideas in a follow-up video in this series that we're doing for value adding to your flower farm.
And kind of segueing with the products is farm merch, like t-shirts, coffee mugs, things with your farm logo on it. People want to know that they've been to your farm, and they'll buy a t-shirt.
Well, this probably isn't something that you would do year one, but as you establish yourself as a business, these are the types of things you should be looking into. You first have to make sure you have a market for it first. And I know last year was the first year we added branded merchandise to our business offering, and Adam was so scared. He's like, will people want to buy anything with PepperHarrow's name on it? Sure enough, yes. Year 10 in our business, we have people who actually want to buy things that have PepperHarrow's logo on it. So it's really kind of cool and such an honor for that to be the case. We never thought we would be at this place in our business, but here we are. So the only thing I kind of think we're staying away from is canvas bags. And it's because we just read recently that it's not sustainable, and people like to have canvas bags, but there's too many of them. People are buying these reusable bags, and it's becoming a drain on resources. So it was something that we consciously stayed away from as a business, and we're looking to do some other things that people can really get good use out of.
Mm-hmm. And a little side note, in our first year or two, we did invest in some t-shirts with our old branding, and we're still sitting on a giant box of t-shirts. So, keep that in mind. You do have to build your brand, and, like Jen was saying earlier, build your market for them to be able to want something from your farm.
Yeah, I was just thinking about those t-shirts. They're great. They're great gifts.
We wear them, yeah. They're great employee t-shirts, and I have about 6 of them that I wear.
Yeah, make sure people are ready for your brand before you make that investment. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, all that stuff, it's very, very expensive, so make sure you really have a market for it before you go produce things like that. It doesn't make your farm legit if you have a t-shirt, so wait until you've built your brand first and then offer things like that. And I'm not knocking you if you already do it. We just found that it was something that as we increased our market, that there was a desire for that after the fact, and that's proof that we had all those t-shirts left.
Yeah, well, it's just, kind of learning from our mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes in the beginning. So.
Yeah, so there you go, guys. We're sharing a mistake with you, totally candid. Something that happened to us that we learned from, and boy, it was at a time when we made that first initial investment when we didn't have any money.
No, we didn't.
So scary. I hate thinking back to these mistakes we made, and it's painful, but you don't know unless you try. But it was something that we learned from for sure. Another idea to value add to your farm is to offer up an on-farm experience, like a farm stay. 2021 was the first year that we offered a glamping tent experience. We have an 18 by 20 glamping tent on the back of our property. Mm-hmm. It's pretty bare bones, but it has a king-size bed. It looks very luxurious. And then we actually have a shower and a bathroom area up at our event barn that people can use when they come out. People are really looking for authentic, unique experiences. That is the new trend. So if that's something that you can offer on your flower farm, good. That's where you're going to add a lot of value.
Yeah, people want to stay on the flower farm, and having that king-size bed in there. Jen and I stayed in there one night, and it was awesome. We had a great time.
So incredible. There's a beautiful little fire pit that we have. We looked at the stars all night. Absolutely amazing. And I was going to say, the other thing we offer with the glamping tent experience is the ability for our glampers to cut their own bouquet. So that's another little added benefit, and people absolutely love it. We have a list put together of all the local attractions and things that they should check out while they're in town. We live in a little historic, small, quaint little town in Iowa. It is cute as a button. Actually, Adam calls it our little Mayberry. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are bridges all over the place that they can go visit. What else? All the things.
I have friends come, and several has said the same thing. It's like Back to the Future. It has like the clock tower, the movie theater.
Yeah, the lights hanging down from the courthouse to the movie theater. It's hilarious.
I guess kind of going back to different events and experiences on the farm is something in particular that we started to do is offer plein air painting days, so we offer artists to come out. It is something we charge a small fee for, just because there are, people use the bathroom. There are some services that are kind of a cost to us, but artists have taken advantage of some of the artwork that's come out of here. Is absolutely beautiful.
And especially if you can partner with any of those plein air artists to take their art, photograph it, and turn it into a card that you can use to sell in your farm shop or to sell online. Really good idea. Mm-hmm. We had plein air artists come out when our lavender was in bloom, and some of the paintings they had from it were absolutely incredible. We're still working with a few of them to be able to get their art marked and noted, and we're going to sell cards from the farm that are very unique to how our farm looks, with our little red barn and the lavender in bloom, to be able to sell here in our farm shop. Having plein air artists come out is not only a good idea from just having people create art or being able to partner with people, but it's also awesome marketing. So with anything you do, never forget the marketing element behind anything that you do, and how you would be able to amplify your business on a local scale and even beyond local, how you would be able to use some of those. Children's activities is also a great way to value add to your farm. We have been asked by moms all around the Des Moines metro area if we can add things to the farm for kids. So 2020 was the first year that we actually had small watercoloring classes for children. We actually had our daughter lead those classes because it was something that she was doing as a fundraiser to donate to our local animal shelter, which is really great for her to learn and to teach her skills both in leadership, how to generate money as a fundraiser, and even how to teach. It was awesome. Activities we're doing this year are children's seed starting and a few others we have planned for later in the season. The important thing with children's activities to keep in mind is they're not huge money generators. That's not the point of doing these classes. The point is to get people engaged with your flower farm, create community involvement, and also to amplify your marketing on a local scale. And not only that, it's fun to teach the youth about how to grow flowers and what you're doing, and to invigorate their interest into nature. It's really, really awesome.
And another bonus, this is very outside of the box, future forward thinking, but the metaverse. The metaverse, I'm sure you've heard of that term by now. Hopefully you have. But we have purchased land in the metaverse and are in the process of building our farm there. So we're going to have a virtual farm in the metaverse. We're doing some NFTs as well. Blockchain is coming, so keep that in mind and think outside of the box with your farm.
We hope this has given you a few little ideas of how to value add to your flower farm. We will be doing, like I said, a series on this where we do deep dives into all these topics that we've provided today, and maybe a few others. So check them out as we release them. You're going to get more ideas of the in-depth ways that we value add under these topics here on the farm.
If y'all enjoyed this video, please be sure to smash that like button and single smash that subscribe button. And we'll see you next time.
As always, thanks for joining, and happy growing.